And it's sort of back to NXT. You're there, you're with Toxic Attraction now. I mean, that has been one of the many acts that have sort of burst on the scene of NXT 2.0 of late. How has it been with them, and sort of what did you think when you were told that you're going to be working with them? I mean, some people already knew a bit about them, but not as much as they do now, obviously, with you all holding all the gold.
Yeah, I didn't really know them too well, obviously, when I first went to NXT. I knew they were different from me in the sense of characters and all that. And I knew they were just starting to get on TV, but I liked the idea that they were different. And I thought it was cool because, we showed some clips of like me and Frankie Monet. And I think people thought we were going to like I was going to join the Robert Stone brand or something like that, because it kind of was the obvious. And I think it was cool that we didn't go with the obvious and that we kind of swerved them and into showing that, I was going to take these two women under my wing, yet they were very different than me. But everyone thought like, oh, they're probably just going to make the girls, look more like Mandy or be kind of more like Mandy Rose. But it was kind of a swerve in the sense of like along the process of me helping them, I was the one that became more edgier and they helped me along the process, which, it was a collaboration. And, I always say no matter how experienced you are or how good you are at something, there's always learning. And, you do learn while you're with women that are, might be, in a different stage than you are in. But, I always say, because my experience comes from different, I didn't come from a wrestling background, but I was always on stage and I always had, confidence, and I had that stage presence. And I was able to kind of help the girls in showing more, being more confident, whether it's in the ring or walking out and doing a promo and stuff like that. So, that it's very motivating for me.
Like so many others saw you on Tough Enough, where you constantly had your dedication questioned because you didn't come from a wrestling background. You came from this show. I mean, that's got to feel like some good sense of confidence from the company to go from that, where that was a constant theme of the show, to where you're being trusted to help so many other people that you're working with now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the comparison with Absolution and Paige keeps coming up. And I think that's kind of cool because, it was only I don't even know exactly, maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, maybe, when Absolution was born and we debuted on, Monday Night Raw. So it's kind of cool because only a few years later, I'm kind of doing that as being the leader, kind of being the Paige, which I never thought I thought maybe in the future that could happen, but I didn't think so soon. But I think it's really cool. And I think Paige taught us so much, and I'm kind of reflecting of the things that she taught us when we were kind of in that stage. And, I always say it's just NXT is amazing, but it is hard that with that pressure, and you have a lot of people in your ear and how they see you and whatnot, and what to do and what not to do. But I think at the end of the day, you're only really going to learn when you just go out there and try it and be who you want to be, because we all kind of went through that. I went through that myself. Like, I tried to do things that some of the coaches or someone might have told me that would work for me, and it was an epic fail. Like, it didn't work for me. But I think that's the cool process of it. And I think that's why TV and getting your reps is so important, because you learn as you go. So I am enjoying right now helping a lot of the women in that process, because it could be really stressful.
I always wondered, when Absolution and Riot Squad debuted within like 1 week of each other, what was going through your mind? I can't remember which happened first, but you do know how sometimes wrestling programming can be, and you want, like, when one 3-piece act debuts, you want to be the only 3-piece act sometimes. Do you
Yeah,
remember what went through your head when that kind of happened? Because you all immediately got comparisons to each other within the week.
for sure. Yeah. Well, all 6 of us were like stuck in a room that night when Absolution debuted first, but we all, like usual, you're not told anything, we got to really keep it from everyone so it doesn't get out. So we were all stuck in a room and nobody knew who the group was and who was debuting first, or like, so, and we were really close with the girls in Riot Squad, Liv, Sarah and Ruby. So we were all really good friends, but we were all just freaking out in that room because we were like, what are we going to do? What, everyone was just like, and we kept coming up with scenarios like all day. And it was like, it would be really funny if there was like a camera in that room because we had all these crazy scenarios of like, what's going to happen? And, this is going to happen. And it was really cool. Like, obviously we debuted first and then they debuted, I believe on, SmackDown. It was the following week or whatever. But yeah, it was just awesome.